All right, a couple of things here. Yankees and Astros tonight, obviously, on the fan. Montgomery and Verlander. Verlander off to an incredible start again this year. Braves and Mets, Citi Field, Newcomb and Syndergaard. Met lineup quickly. Cabrera, Conforto, Cespedes in the lineup. Bruce Frazier and Gonzalez, Rosario, Nito, and Syndergaard. The lineup tonight as the Mets open up a series with the Braves this evening. And I know people have asked about this. Mons, of course, the first thing Mons asked me, it says he especially, Friday is Derby Day. We don't have a show Thursday. I'll be here tomorrow. Unless this doesn't work out, this is, if it doesn't work out, who knows. But if it works out okay and we get through the show, I'll be here tomorrow. And Thursday we're off because the Yankees have a game in Houston. I'm already playing golf. It's going to be 85. And Friday we will be here. Saturday, as some of you may know, some of you have had it on the calendar for a very long time, is the Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby. And yes, Brad Thomas will join me. So would I do a Friday show without Brad before the Derby so you can line your pockets with gold once again? Of course not, especially in a wide open group like this where you can, find yourself. The Derby is the best betting race of the year. First of all, you never get a race with that many horses in it. Secondly, they all can run. I mean, it's not like, listen, there are horses that are better than other horses, but they all can run. These are all good horses. They have to qualify. So you can get real prices. I mean, some of the best exactas I've ever hit have been in the Kentucky Derby. It is a great betting race. By far, I never do well on the Breeders' Cup. For some reason, something goes wrong. But on the Derby, it has been my race. I have done so well in the Derby through the years, and I love the Derby. And it's the best betting race of the year. So, yes, Brad will be with us. I don't have a dime for him yet, so just listen to the whole show and you'll hear Brad. So, yes, as a matter of fact, Brad called me this morning. So I didn't call him back yet today because I've just been running around like crazy. But he called me this morning. So, yes, Brad will be with me. Well, of course. And I actually told the Musburgers when I met with them in the city, and they are very serious about their network. They have incredible financing behind their gambling network, which is going to be done from Vegas and other points around the country. And I sent them Brad. I said, you got to bring Brad into your network. He's so good on the horses. You got to. So I hooked them up with Brad. I said I thought that would be a perfect place for him to go. And they really have a first-class operation. They really do. I was very impressed by it. Meeting with them, I was very impressed by them. And I actually, gave it a little thought. It just wasn't exactly what I wanted to do in terms of time and in terms of just content and everything, but it was very enticing. And I did send Brad their way. All right, so we got a busy show, as we said. Then we have tomorrow, we have a busy show. And then Friday, it'll be our Derby show with Brad among our many guests. All right, first guest, we welcome in. And it's nice of him to be here. He asked to be the first guest, and I said, absolutely. I'd be honored if he's the first guest. And that, of course, is A-Rod. A-Rod, welcome. How are you?
Mike, what's happening? Welcome back, man.
Thank you. Good to talk to you, A-Rod. How are things?
Well, I told you I was one of your last guests when I left, and I said, if you ever come back, I want to be one of your first.
Well, you are the first, so absolutely. And I know that there were some forces that tried to keep you from coming to the program today, so I thank you for telling them no way and coming to the program as planned. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I keep my promises, and obviously a big fan of you, your show, and New York sports needs you.
Well, that's nice. Well, tell me, first of all, how's the gig going? How's it going?
It's going great. I mean, Matt and Jessica have been just an absolute blast to work with, collaborating with them. It's not just Sundays. Like, we have our Thursday calls, and we're constantly talking and communicating, and it's really fun when you can spend that much time and energy prepping for two teams. And it's kind of our Sunday night for us. It's like our football night, right? Is you get the one night where it's exclusive, and you get the best game of the week, and we're having a lot of fun.
Do you like working this much? I mean, that was obviously, you've done the postseason, you got rave reviews. Do you like working this much on a weekly basis, having to travel as much as you are?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. The travel is a bit challenging, but So far, so good. Again, it's a new challenge. It's a lot different than studio work, but it helps when we have, great producers. Matt and Jessica are all-stars at what they do, and, it helps having a veteran like Matt kind of leading the way for us as well.
All right, we're talking with, obviously, the familiar voice of Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod joins us here as our first guest back. And let me ask you about a couple of guys here. Give me your thoughts. Atani, what have you seen? What's your opinion?
I mean, off the charts. I mean, he hit a ball of Severino on Friday night last week where it was 97 miles an hour in off the plate, and the thing just took off like a launch shot. It was like a strawberry shot. And there's probably a handful of people in the world that can do that of Severino right now. And then if you think about him pitching 101, 102 with a split finger that looks like Mike Scott or Roger Clemens, again, a handful of people in the world can do that. So the combination, it'll be fascinating to see how he matures.
Gleyber Torres.
Roberto Alomar.
That's who he looks like. That's who it's like the spitting image.
Boy, I hope so for our case, right? I mean, that'll be amazing. But he has that, maturity. The young guy, but he has the maturity of a 30-year-old. He looks and feels like he's been there for 10 years, and that's rare to say. But I think defensively, it is a great match for this team. This team needs defense. Defense that's the one part of the game that's been very bad for the Yankees, and he really is an injection of good energy for them.
We're talking with A-Rod, and there's a lot of new guys and a lot of new faces in baseball, young guys. First of all, Judge, I guess you didn't hear the sophomore jinx, huh? I guess not, huh?
No. I think Stanton has been a beneficiary of, Judge has been a beneficiary of Stanton and the new additions. I mean, he's kind of just gone right under the radar. He's hitting second, and he is getting better each and every day. When
you talk about guys who have emerged, Didi has gone to another level. Now, we've watched him from the days where he came to the Yankees, did not even know how to run the bases, looked like he had no baseball instincts. I know there were those days where I was at the stadium some days early in those days. I heard other people talking about it. We talked about it. You and Beltran on the field schooling this guy. I mean, he had to replace Jeter, which was very tough. Now he has flowered into this virtual budding superstar player. How about Didi's emergence?
It's been something that I've been amazed watching. Very close, being his teammate. Give Brian Cashman a lot of credit. He coveted Didi years before he actually bagged the elephant. And what I like about Didi, I mean, here's a guy that fell flat on his face, to your point, Mike, the first month. I've never seen a player. I was really nervous for him. When I would go out there and work with him.
He couldn't even run the bases.
He could not stay on his feet. I mean, he would just fall on his face. He wasn't hitting. He couldn't catch a ground ball. And I said, oh, boy. And, today he's emerged as he's playing as the MVP, potential Triple Crown winner. And he's a guy that if he ever gets to be a free agent, he is going to command dollars that are probably going to be at the Machado if he keeps up.
It's amazing what he's become. And clutch, big spots, big home runs, big spots. Every time you get him in a big spot, he seems to produce. It's unbelievable what he's done.
The reason why I like Didi is the combination of power, contact, gold glove defender abilities. And if you think about the late 90s and all the great clutch hitters, it was the Paul O'Neills, it was the Bernie Williams, it was the Tina Martinez. It was people that can put the barrel on the baseball when the bright lights were on. That's what Didi Gregorius is for the Yankees.
How about these young guys on the Braves? And we're talking about A-Rod, of course. How about these young guys, these Ozzie Albies and these guys on the Braves? They got some very good young players.
Say that again, Mike.
The guys on the Braves, the young guys, the guy Albies, and then you got the kid in the minors who hasn't come up yet, who's Omar told me is the best young player in baseball. I mean, the best talent in all of baseball.
Mike, there's talent spread all over baseball, and it seems like they're all under the age of 25. Every week we go and see a new player. I have not seen the Braves young player. I cannot wait to see him, especially in person. But it's a golden age for young players in the game today.
Yeah, and in spring training I was down there, and Omar said, "You see this kid over here? Acuna is the best talent in all of baseball. I know he's up now. They just brought him up, I believe. Omar told me that he is the best talent at 20 in all of baseball."
Well, I mean, listen, Omar's one of the best talent evaluators of our generation, so that's a hell of a compliment. I can't wait to see him. I have not seen him, so I can't speak about him. But, Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram and Twitter. I mean,
I wasn't until yesterday, Eli. I started this. I've been wanting to start an app for a while, and that's where I decided to put a lot of stuff which we have coming out in the months to come. But in working with my new partners, they put me on all this stuff, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And as of last night, that's the first time we were on there because it's the first time we launched to collect names for the app that we're going to have. And it's going to launch in August. It's going to be, we got some fun stuff. And I'm working with the CAA guys. They're my partners, and they put me on all this stuff. And they know a lot more about it than I do, but I just do what they ask me to do as far as the information and the editorial stuff, and they take care of the rest of it.
I love it. You're like a Stanford grad, a tech.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to get there if I had to get there myself. I can tell you that, Rob. But as long as I had someone handling for me, I'm okay. So from that standpoint, it's going to be fun because what I noticed was everybody is controlling everything now through these apps. That's the way everything's going to be done. And everything, TV shows and all different networks and everything else is going to be through these apps.
You're not lying. It is content is king.
So tell me, how is life as part of the biggest celebrity couple in the country? How does that work?
I don't know. They just tell me what to do and I do it. You know.
Can you hide from that stuff or what? Can you hide from that kind of stuff or what?
It's hard to, but we embrace it. I mean, the other thing is like we went down to Puerto Rico, Mike, and raised $35 million, and that's the other side of that coin. You're able to do a lot of good in the world too, and that was something we enjoyed going down there and spending time with the people of Puerto Rico.
What team? We're talking with Alex Rodriguez, of course. What team right now are the Astros the best team in baseball? Is there anybody else that impresses you? What do you see right now as far as the Red Sox, the Astros? The Indians haven't gotten off to the fastest start. What team impresses you the most so far?
Look, if you look at the first 2 weeks, Alex Cora and the Red Sox were the best team. If you looked at what's happened over the last 10 days, there's no better team than the Yankees. Here's what it is going to come down to. It's like the stock market. It goes up and down, up and down. The one that's going to drink champagne in late October is who has the best pitching. Ultimately, can the Yankees beat the Houston Astros in a Game 7 with Justin Verlander on the mound or a guy like Charlie Morton? It doesn't matter all the noise that happens from here to there. It's all volatile. It's all white noise. It is all about who wins the sweepstakes in late July. Last year, it was the Houston Astros, Jim Crane, and Jeff Luna at the 11th hour purchased or acquired Justin Verlander, and that led to the first championship.
I have to admit, I'm shocked at Verlander. I would not have expected him to get back to this level. He did not look like this as a Tiger late. He did not look like this pitcher. Since he's gone there, he's been unbelievable. He was the difference last year in the postseason. Now, they got a lot out of Morton. They got a lot out of McCullers. Yeah, they definitely did. They got a lot out of Morton last night again. So he's gone to a different level. But Verlander was the difference, and I'm shocked. He's come out of the gate great again this year. I'm shocked he had this much left.
Verlander has been an amazing story. I mean, talk about second act. He talked to us in the World Series last year about him getting healthy and really working on some things mechanically, which he was up to the back of the mid-90s. The breaking ball was great, changeup. He was also in great shape. And there is a maturity, a coating of maturity around Verlander that I hadn't seen in years. So it's been the perfect storm. The other thing about the Astros to really watch them, because they are the front runners to win again. The reason why they're number one in strikeouts, and offensively they don't strike out. So they're number one in contact. That's a lethal combination. Their pitching,
their starting pitching, that is really good right now. And I don't love their bullpen. They seem to have enough. Last year, they just, in the postseason, we know they went away completely from their bullpen. So I think they could use another guy there. The Yankees are going to have to go out and get pitchers. There's no question. They might have to go out and get two pitchers. I mean, so they're going to have to really dip into the system to get some pitchers down the stretch. I think that's pretty obvious now.
Yeah, I think the pitching, look, anybody will take more pitching. Probably the only ones that do not need more pitching are the Astros as far as starters. They do need a bullpen guy, to your point. But I got to tell you, CC Sabathia with his new cutter, he is going to be someone who's going to be a great asset, maybe say game 2, 3, probably game 3 for the Yankees. But a left-hander is always good to turn that lineup over. You saw what Wells and Pettit did in the late 90s. It should be fun. It should be fun to watch. You know, the other thing, Mike, about the cutter in particular, you know, you look at a guy like Jamie Moyer who pitched till he was 49 years old. It was the cutter, not the changeup, that allowed him to extend his career another 9 or 10 years.
Well, CC amazes me, too, because you don't know if a guy's going to be able to do that, if he's going to be able to learn the pitch and refine his game as much as he has to from the power pitcher. He's done an incredible job with that. He really has. He's really taken to it, and now he's on a different level as a pitcher again.
I mean, he can pitch as long as his knee allows him and his body allows him to pitch. If he wants to pitch another 3 years, I mean, he put on a clinic on Sunday. It was a beautiful thing to watch, and he wasn't even sweating. Yeah,
you know, it's amazing. The game right now, I mean, there's too many strikeouts, we know that, but the game right now has got a lot of great, incredible young players in it. I mean, it's amazing how many good young players there are in the sport right now.
There is, Mike, and you know what? If you're a contrarian and you're a front office and you're able to go against the grain and you're right, you'll get paid off in a big way. I mean, if you think about players like Justin Turner and Daniel Murphy and Altuve and Didi, these players are being paid $10 to $12 million. I would reverse it. Those are the guys that will be making 28 for me, because those are the guys you win with in October. The swing and miss guys, it is impossible to win late in October with those guys.
How do you think Stanton will do this year? Well, will he have a knockout year, or do you think he'll have a little problem this year?
I think he's going to do very well for two reasons. Number one, you're in the middle of probably the best offense in baseball, an offensive juggernaut. Your best hitter is hitting fifth in Gary Sanchez, so hitting is contagious. And number two, you're playing in a bandbox in Yankee Stadium that has yielded the most home runs since 2015. And he's just too strong. It won't hold him down.
Well, listen, pleasure to have you on. I'm glad you're doing well. It's nice for you to come on and be the first guy and think of us. So thanks. We'll chat along the way, but thanks very much for coming on.
You got it, Mike. Welcome back.
Thank you, Aaron. Alex Rodriguez, back after this.